Hello Stamper, welcome to French's video. I'm Frances Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today I'm going to share with you how I color the Peaceful Place watercolor, but very simple. No shading, no nothing. So let's get started with, I use a piece of watercolor paper, and I think that's make a big difference when you use watercolor paper or regular paper when it comes to watercolor. This measured 3.5 by 4 3/4. It is two sides. One side is soft, one side is more rough. I like to use the rough side, but that is personal choice. It's no right or wrong, I think. I just like that rough side. Now I'm using Stays On, and it's important that you use permanent ink because we're going to be watercolor. Also, it is rough, the side I'm using, so you want to give really a good impression, and also you want to make sure that you ink that correctly. Maybe I should have used my Stamparatus, so I could have went a few times, but I just went one with the other one. Just want to make sure I get a very good impression. Oh, perfect. Voila. So now for the watercolor to be easy to color, really it would be by section and let it dry. But because of the video, we're going to do it all. So what I'm going to start with the whole olive. And here we go. Something is clicking, I don't know what it is. If you get the new ink pad and you try to squeeze them and they're very hard, let me share with you a tip. See, I can get it, but some of it are very tight. Let me show you one thing. I need a clear block here. So you can take a clear block and just tap it once and voila. That can be your template, not your template, but your palette for your water. Now I'm going to make sure that your brush, it's wet, and this is Aqua Painter. You just put the water in your barrel. So that it's done. Hopefully I get enough water to do this. And then I'm going to water where my trees here. I'm not paying attention. Like I said, this is no detail. It's very quick watercolor. So what I do, I just go in my ink here, tap, and just tap a little bit, and you see it run a bit because I get that wet. So I just going to add my water, my color where I want it, and keep on adding. Then I would do all my trees like this, and you see I'm not adding any shading or nothing. Now I'm gonna, here I just tap. See, I don't even really, I just keep on tap. And the best thing for watercolor, it's you want to let it dry. Let's say I want it darker. Well, I can keep on adding, and it's just gonna spread because it was wet. So if you let it dry, then you can come back and add more water. So I just keep on adding here a bit. Look where I get a little bit of leaves here. And I don't want to cover too much of the trunk because I'm gonna, oops, I get a white there. The trunk of the tree, we're gonna put that in the brown. So that look pretty good for now. And like I said, we're gonna come back and have darker. So I'm gonna leave it this way. And I needed a hinky rag that I don't have. I grabbed a tissue here. I forget. Somebody stole my hinky rag. And I forgot to bring another one. Here we go. And the pine trees here. Now for the grass, here I want to add darker here. The grass I just add where it was, you can see, and then color a bit. Nothing special, see, just. And then I'm going to come with the garden green, and we're going to have some different color. So I'm just going to tap that there. I'm going to leave that open because I know we're going to come back. I'm going to use my garden green, and this is very darker. So what I'm going to do, it's where you see the grass, that's where I'm adding my shade of the green here. And about at the top of the bank, you see all the top of the bank of the river here. And then I can go over here. So really this is a quick watercolor because I just really touch it. I don't do nothing special but touch it. And then in the trees I can add a little bit more of the darker green like this. Not too much because I want to keep more in my olive. But see, I can. Here we go. So now you get a clue how I'm going to do that. I won't do the old thing. I'm just going to point what I was doing. See, now I keep on adding some of the different green in my tree. Okay, now when that, we're going to have to let it dry a bit before I can do the trunk. If not, it's just going to get mixed. Oh, the blue. It's right here. That's the balmy blue. And then I'm going to add that for the water. So I just go down. And then I don't really add more. As it comes down, it's going to be lighter. That's it. So it's darker at the top and lighter as I come down. I can add maybe a little bit where you see like the current, add a little bit more at the current. And then where you get the rocks right here, so it would pull more there. Here we go. See, very simple. Now for the bank, I use soft suede. You can mix it soft suede with maybe some crumb cake, but just add all the bank so you see all the side. But again, sometimes you want to let dry in between or use your embossing tool to dry that, so then you can mix it, go faster, so then all your color don't get mixed together. Also the soft suede, that's what I use for my branch. I'm gonna let that part dry and we're gonna come back to that part. Gonna do that bank over here. Here we go, and where you get the line, that's where I had a bit more. Now for the pine tree, I just add a little bit, not a full line because you get some green in between. I'm going to bring that closer so you can see what I'm talking about. And then again, don't forget those little ones here. You just need tiny, oops, that one was too much. Too much, I'm going to remove some and add more green. Here we go. So now I'm going to bring it that so you can see the line right here. I think you can see. Now for the branch in the tree, it's the same thing. I just barely, the trick to this, it's barely touch your paper and just let it glide down. You barely touch your paper because if not, it's going to widen your brush when you press it down, and then you're going to have a big fat branch. So you barely touch it. And like always, you don't want to look at any of the watercolor too close, because then you're going to say, oh my goodness. But watercolor, it's runny. It is watercolor, so it is okay to have that run. Now I can go back at the top of this and add more of my green. Here I'm missing some, and see, I'm passing all that, and that's perfectly fine. Now the branch in the water, again I'm going to put that in my brown. Here we go. Oh, I forgot one thing that I didn't share. The boulder there, I'm using smoky slate. Make sure my brush is wet. And here we go. So my boulder is in this smoky slate. Now I'm going to come and add more of my blue here. And then if you want to do your sky, I did a very, very light in the sky. You can use the balmy blue or pool party. If you use a balmy blue, mix it good with water so you get very, very light. Want to see how dark? This is too dark. See? Wipe it a bit and then you just do like a little wash. Don't add more color, just squeeze a bit more water and add. Keep on adding water to it to make it lighter. Here we go. That is it, my friend. Now, I'm going to have to let it dry completely before I would stamp my grading. My grading, I stamp with Versamark and emboss with black embossing powder. But right now, I cannot do that because the minute I'm going to do that, because it's still wet, my embossing powder is going to stick everywhere. Use your embossing buddy when it's dry, stamp with Versamark and put your black embossing powder. If you see, I don't know if you can see, I think you can see the shine on the water. That I use the fine tip glue. Let me show you. This fine tip glue here, and then I just add line on top of it and let it dry. Don't touch it. It takes a bit of time to dry, and that's how I get what look like water. I think you can see in the shimmer there. But first I have to let it dry. So this is it, all the easy watercolor, very nothing major. Oh, another thing that I noticed, you see it's blue there. So what you want to do again is mix that with water, and you're going to go a little bit in between your branch so you kind of see the sun. That is it, my friend, for my masculine card for this Monday. And for all the Stampin' Up product, just visit my blog at FrenchieStamp.com. You get the link right below or above in the high. And I get everything listed and the measurement, and you can shop 24/7 right there. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.